Alright guys, vlog is done. I'm gonna go out and finish the hood tour episode now. It's not gonna be too bad of a one, so kind of because I was gonna go up to Dollar Tree to see if that Tetro. They had any paracord in yet. But I might as well just go on this coming Monday because then I can just go then, and Dad's not gonna go, where are you gonna go? I'm like, probably down the main. You know, because I only gotta work 4 days next week. And I gotta open that Sunday afternoon on the 2nd, which is on a Sunday. You know, and I want to go, but I don't want to be getting home at like fucking midnight. Because I gotta be up at work for 9:30, which isn't a bad thing, but if I gotta get up early, you know, and I'm not gonna complain to Autumn or Amber about it because I only worked 4 fucking days, and that's in a fucking you know, they're fucking getting on me today and yesterday, and You know, and I was asking about shit, and, you know, like, hey, is it still in the same spot? And Autumn's like, well, you should know that by now, because I was asking about the fucking bags of ketchup for the pump in the lobby. You know, and I was asking if this in the same spot, and she's like, well, you should know this by now, Cole. And I said, you talk to me like that, I'll walk out the fucking door and I won't show up the rest of this week. And then you're gonna have to fucking cancel your vacay because you're gonna need to be here next week. She's like, I'm not canceling my vacay. And I said, okay then. She's like, well, you're gonna use that as leverage. And if she's like, well, you're gonna use that as fucking leverage. I said, no, I'm gonna use it to get away with shit. This week, I understand because of the audit. You're stressed. I get it. But you know, and I want to fucking bitch to you about something too. And Autumn would be like, well, what? I told her that I was talking to Amber, you know, because I know she does the schedule. You know, beats going to you. You know, because then it's not, you know, it's wasting energy for you, you know, saving energy for you, telling me to just go talk to, you know, by saying go talk to Amber. You know, she's like, yeah. And I talked to Amber about you know, next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, the weekend that you're going to be gone. You know, the second part, you know, the second weekend that you're going to be going through for your vacay. She's like, yeah, okay. You know, so obviously it's going to be the first and second. She's like, okay, thank you for clarifying. You know, if that's what she says. You know, I talked to Amber, you know, about, you know, seeing if I can get that Saturday off the 1st, you know, to go to that race with my grandfather. She's like, yeah, I remember you telling me about that. I told Amber, I said, schedule me, you know, a later shift. You know, I don't need off. I just want a later shift, you know, like a 4 to 8 or something. You know, so then I can get home, wind down, go to bed, and, you know, be able to wake up later. She's like, right. She's like, okay. So, well, what do you want me to do? The schedule's posted. I said, nothing now, being that it's posted. You know, and I want to bitch about the week after, too, because I want to, you know, I got those 2 days that I got to open after those fucking closes. You know, I got to close 3 days next week. What the fuck? Aiden isn't a fucking kid anymore. He's 17. You know, because Kids Day is next week, and I want to say something to Amber. Aiden's 17. He can be working. He's got a fucking car to pay for. And if Amber's like, yeah, you got a good point, but I feel he should enjoy Kids Day too. I said I didn't get to enjoy that shit. It's because my mom and dad were always fucking working because they got a fucking house to pay for. Now they got two vehicles and a camper to pay for as well. Thought I could smell premium gas. Now you can get a little bit better shot of this camper. The semi. Yeah, seeing it still puts me in a upset mood, but you know, it's just pray to God it doesn't fucking happen to mine. Well, because Dad normally it's that car that was out. I thought that was gonna say it was like 70, 71 goat grill, but you know, I'm gonna throw it in their faces. They keep getting on me about doing shit wrong. I'm gonna tell them I'm walking out the fucking door because I got people getting a hold of me like, hey, are asking if I want to go work for them. And they're paying me, $3, $4 more an hour.